The Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the 2015 Chevy Colorado, is being built right here in our backyard at the General Motors plant in Wentzville. And all day today, we are giving you unprecedented access to the place where it's built and the people who build it. Ryan Dean and Pat McGonigal are live inside the plant. Good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning, Nicole. Yeah, the action never stops here. It's going on behind us. The 2015 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the Chevy Colorado. This is a very big deal in the car industry. This is considered, Ryan, just about the highest honor.
Absolutely, and this award means everything to the people that work here. So yeah, today we are going to give you unprecedented access to the hardworking men and women who make this truck with pride. Our cameras spent 2 full days at the GM plant in Wentzville getting unprecedented access to the truck of the year and to the men and women who build it.
I've been here 30 years and I am proud of this product and I believe in it.
Take this ride with us all day in every newscast on News Channel 5 as we show you how this truck is made. From the very beginning.
There's a lot of rubbing and scrubbing.
To the final inspection.
That is our job, to look and make sure it's right.
See the pride these workers have in building the truck of the year.
Never underestimate the ability of a group of people out here. The individuals that touch this metal to put this truck together, never underestimate what those folks can do.
This truck has brought thousands of jobs back to the plant.
This is our time.
A third shift has been added.
I would say this is the brightest time in GM Wentzville's history.
And speaking of history, we go back to the start.
It used to be a huge wheat field.
And we look forward, why workers think they can win the award again next year.
Yes, we do. We really do.
The 2015 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, an American-made truck.
We built that right here in Wentzville.
All right, how about that music to get you going this morning? So, you know, one of the things we need to talk about is the millions of dollars that was put into this plant to get the truck ready. I mean, they are used to making full-size vans here at the Wentzville plant. It was no small task to get the line ready to build a truck along with the van. We're going to talk about that coming up at 5:30.
Yeah, big investment from GM in this plant. And it's not just here in Wentzville. So many of the suppliers who make the parts that make the Chevy Colorado are in-state. I'm holding one right here, Nicole, just for an example. This is an interior panel that goes into the Chevy Colorado.
Yeah.
This part is made at a different supplier, a different factory here in Missouri. And so it's just the ripple effect of the good news here economically spreads throughout the whole state.
Is there a truck now missing a panel because you took this?
You know,
Pat, Nicole, you know how he is.
Yes.
Sorry, someone.
I have a feeling that there is probably a missing panel somewhere in one of the trucks. But guys, obviously the workers there really have a sense of pride, and I'm assuming the entire community really is so, very proud of the fact that this plant is there.
Oh yeah, I mean, you drive around, you go to any of the businesses or even the schools around here, people know a good thing is happening and you can kind of pick up on it.
Yeah, when this plant is booming, Wentzville and the surrounding area feels that for sure.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a good time here today, Nicole.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, guys.
Welcome back to the GM plant in Wentzville. Ryan Dean and I are here all day long for our special Made with Pride. We're right near the assembly line where a shift change will happen in about an hour. And this operation, when it starts on Sunday night, it doesn't stop until Friday night.
That's right. And so you may have driven by the plant and say, I wonder what they build in there. 2 full-size vans and 2 mid-size pickups, including the 2015 Truck of the Year, the Chevy Colorado. And winning that Motor Trend award has meant everything to the men and women who work here. The Chevy Colorado has breathed new life into the Wentzville plant.
I would say this is the brightest time in GM Wentzville's history.
A far cry from a tumultuous 2009 when General Motors filed bankruptcy. Hundreds of layoffs here. The plant was idled weeks at a time. Less than 1,000 hourly employees remained.
There were times when morale and everything was low. We didn't know if we were going to be here the next year, and now everything is positive.
Positive because word came that this plant that builds full-size vans was also going to start making trucks. The GMC Canyon and Chevy Colorado. $500 million pumped into this facility for upgrades.
It's been a very exciting time. Never in the history has there been this type of facility upgrade.
Now that this truck has been honored as a 2015 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the demand is great. GM says it's been the fastest selling truck in the industry for 3 months in a row.
We did expect success, and maybe we're having a little bit more success than we had initially thought of, but that's okay with us.
To the workers, success in sales means jobs. 3,600 people are now employed here. A third shift had to be added to keep up with orders.
It just ensures a future here at Wentzville for the young people that just came on board with the third shift.
And this trophy has raised the morale in the plant.
It's a sense of pride. It makes you want to say, yes, I work at General Motors.
And seriously, when you talk to the workers, when you talk about the award that was won, they will tell you what that means is future.
Oh,
they
yeah.
keep talking about it means jobs, it means third shift, it means getting people in this area to work.
Yeah, there's no room for second place anymore in this industry.
And you know what? You talk to some of the men and women here, and they do have a sense of pride. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. In their 6 o'clock hour, you're going to meet one of the workers. He framed the magazine ride, the Motor Trend 2015 Truck of the Year. He has it framed in his garage. He looks at it every day. So there's serious pride and there's serious demand, too. They're saying when they talk to dealers, they can't keep these things in stock. That's how fast. I mean, the ones that they're making right now, those are sold. Those already have someone's name on it.
And later today, you're going to see the paint shop. It's where some of that renovation, that money went into. I grabbed these from the paint shop. Ostrich feathers. They actually use these in the process.
I thought you were kidding.
No.
That is unbelievable.
So I got to take this back to the paint shop, though.
Very cool. And coming up in just a few minutes, Nicole, we're going to show you how this plant was recognized by Governor Jay Nixon for honoring our fighting men and women, and how this plant, when it was in a different location, built artillery shells to help us win World War II. And one of those shells is still here, Nicole. So some cool stuff coming up.
Yeah, can't wait to hear about that. Now, Ryan, I want to go back to, we know that, from vans to trucks. So is this demand expected to keep growing? I mean, is it possible there'll be another shift added or more jobs?
Yeah, so they are talking about what's next. So the 2016, we're going to talk about the future. That's actually going to be tomorrow morning. We're going to show you that. But as far as jobs, they say they'll have to see. But there is momentum building, and they're excited about the 2015 Colorado, but they're really excited about the 2016 Colorado.
I was going to say, they kind of talk like defending champs, Nicole.
Yeah,
like they're
do.
the defending champs, and they're pretty sure they're going to win this in 2016
and
too.
And that's what they say. They feel like
it.
they can. Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, the time's coming up on 5:40, and listen to this. IRS workers. Today, the General Motors plant in Wentzville employs 3,600 people. But the future of GM in the St. Louis area was not always so bright. As part of our day-long look at this new booming economic engine, we go back out to Pat and Ryan live in Wentzville.
Good morning, Nicole. So here it is, the 2015 Motor Trend Truck of the Year trophy for the Chevy Colorado, built right here in Wentzville. I'm kind of nervous holding this because, well,
it's real gold.
Yeah, and then I feel like I should have white gloves like the Stanley Cup,
It's true. I mean, it was really cool a moment ago when we went outside, because normally, Nicole, this thing is under lock and key. Employees can see it, but they can't necessarily walk around with it. But Ryan took it outside to take some pictures, and a shift change was happening, so we got to take some pictures.
Security was following me every step of the way.
So, but you saw the pride in their faces, didn't you? The employees,
absolutely.
We saw it just outside in the parking lot. But it wasn't always that way for GM workers in our area. In fact, when the GM plant was in downtown St. Louis back in 1980, one of the only things workers really knew back then for sure was that the St. Louis plant was closing.
I think the consensus of opinion is everybody's looking forward to it because they don't think there's much hope for this plant.
GM workers in St. Louis in 1980 prepare for the closing of the plant in the city on Natural Bridge and Union. That plant dated back to the birth of the industry in the 1920s. The long and proud history of car making in St. Louis is second only to Detroit. So the rank and file at GM could only hope for the best when the St. Louis plant shut down and word spread about a possible new GM plant 40 miles west in Wentzville.
Wentzville beats nothing.
Okay,
I'd rather work in Wentzville than to be off altogether.
So it was a sunny day indeed when they broke ground on the GM plant in Wentzville in 1980. News Channel 5 even sent a crew on a ceremonial train from the city to Wentzville. And GM heavyweights predicted big things.
With the auto industry in such a slump, it's somewhat unusual to be building a new plant. What is the plan? Why are you doing it?
Well, we have to get ready for the future, and this is the time.
And that future is here. For the first time ever, the GM plant in Wentzville is running a third shift, a 24-hour-a-day operation.
I would say this is the brightest time in GM Wentzville's history.
And plant manager Nancy Lobenthal would know. She came to the GM Wentzville plant as a college intern in the 1980s. Now she's running the place. Back then, the Wentzville plant was built on an old wheat field.
General Motors waited to harvest the wheat before we broke ground, so that was really our first profit-making opportunity, was the sale of the wheat.
They don't harvest wheat here anymore. They crank out the 2015 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the Chevy Colorado. All of which makes those hopeful speeches from that ceremonial groundbreaking here in 1980 all the more prophetic.
This industry, if it fares well, the American economy fares well.
Now, believe it or not, one of the people who worked at that GM plant in St. Louis still works for GM today. He's been at it. They've been working here at this plant for 35 years, but you're going to meet that 48-year GM veteran, Stan Matkins. He is from St. Louis. He's a very cool guy. He's been here a long time, and he has some serious pride here in this product.
So just give you an idea what this truck has meant to this facility. So 2009, 2010, they were less than 1,000 hourly workers. Now that number is over 3,000.
Yeah, very serious stuff.
Hey, I noticed something going on here. It's not a fashion trend. I think you're going to explain later, but
yeah,
I don't have to wear them.
No, the better question, we're going to explain what these are in our next half hour, Nicole, but why aren't you wearing them?
I don't think we have to.
I thought we were. Okay, the other cool thing, everybody's on board here. They're all on the same team, but not necessarily the teams they root for. Coming up in a few minutes, little Cards-Cubs rivalry on the assembly line here at GM, Nicole.
Oh, all right, two things, guys. First, I noticed the trophy is no longer with you, probably for the best.
Yes. You should have seen the employees behind me. Every time I moved, they're like...
Right. But in all seriousness now, were you guys allowed to get on the assembly line?
Oh, actually, a little bit. Yeah. One day when I was here, things slowed down enough on the hood assembly part that they let me get on for a little bit. That's, I believe, a web exclusive. If you go to KSDK.com, that video of me attaching hoods to the Colorado.
And then moments after we were kicked out of here.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, all kinds of pick galleries, all kinds of stuff. KSDK.com.
Good stuff.
Sounds great. Thanks, guys.
A lot of questions, right, what we get when we're at the plant here from viewers when they know that we're going to do this special today. One of those.
Yeah, in fact, I don't mind telling you, I asked the question. We spent a lot of time here. I did a lot of research, and then one day I was thinking about the Motor Trend Truck of the Year, and I thought, well, what is it? How do they win it? Like, how do you even win this thing? So coming up at 6:30, we're going to explain exactly why and how the Chevy Colorado took the top honors for Truck of the Year.
Careful with that thing.
I know. All right, so Nicole, we're going to talk about that at 6:30.
All right, sounds great. Now, if people are just tuning in, those are not special trophy protective gloves you're wearing, right, Pat?
No, they have a purpose, and
There's no reason he's wearing them this morning, though.
Ryan
Seriously.
Dean will be fined by Local 2250 for not wearing the Kevlar sleeves, which protect the forearms from sparks, stray metal, what have you. I am proud to wear the same sleeves that the men and women of 2250 wear, and Ryan,
even though he's way away from where he has to wear them, it doesn't matter. He wants to fit in. No.
All right, well, Pat, you're wearing them well.
Thank you.
All right, it is now 6:20.
Good morning. So winning the 2015 Truck of the Year, big deal for the Chevy Colorado and the men and women who work here, because you know, the award means demand for the truck, and demand for the truck means jobs here at the plant.
Oh, it's the gold standard, literally. It is gold. It's the highest recognition a vehicle can get. And if you're not a car person, I'm not, to be honest with you, you might not know exactly what does that mean. What does this award mean? So here it is, the 6 categories. Advancement in design, inside and out. engineering excellence, efficiency, fuel efficiency and carbon footprint, safety, value, the Colorado starts at about 20 grand, very affordable, and performance of intended function. Now, after a punishing battery of tests, the Motor Trend judges said the Colorado excelled in all 6 categories, and here's a direct quote from the article, quote, "It's well designed and thoughtfully engineered, and it conquers the segment." And I talked, Ryan, with Nancy Lobenthal, the plant manager, and some of the other people, and she said, it didn't just win, it won in a landslide.
Yeah, and if you talk to the workers here, they are very, very proud of this award because they know the work. I'm telling you, I mean, it is detailed work they put in. We have to see it firsthand.
Oh, you're going to meet Stan Matkins and some other longtime employees. You know, he's been here 48 years. Just, this is a big deal to them. It's very special to them. And as they're walking by us right now, Nicole, you can just see the people in the shift change here, Ryan. Have you noticed them? Yeah. Like they walk by and they're kind of like, yeah, that's ours.
By the way, first time ever, a third shift at this plant.
Yeah, very big deal.
Shows the demand.
All right, so we know there's the shift change there, guys, but kind of just describe what's going on behind you. We can see lots of activity.
Oh, yeah, well, it's a good question. The conveyor belt up high over there, I wondered the same thing, Nicole. Those are actually dashboards. You're looking at the back side. That's the side that slides into the front of the vehicle, and those slide down and they get paired up with a Colorado or a GMC Canyon or a van.
Yeah, that's right. So 4 vehicles made here. You have 2 full-size vans and 2 mid-sized trucks. And they build them on the same line, which is a huge accomplishment in its own right. They're saying how difficult that is. They need to know exactly what each vehicle is getting. So, I mean, all the organization, we're going to show you that coming up later on. We have a whole day slated, all newscasts with something about the Colorado and the men and women, the jobs that it's added, the life that it's brought back to this plant.
And we're making everyone nervous holding this valuable trophy. So we're going to put this in more trusting, valuable hands.
Yes.
And we'll continue our coverage out here, Nicole.
All right, guys, we'll check back with you. Well, all day long, we are bringing you an unprecedented look at the making of the truck of the year, the Chevy Colorado, made right here in the St. Louis area at the GM plant in Wentzville. So now we're going to go out live again to Ryan and Pat, who are going to introduce us to the workers who say this truck is made with pride. But Ryan, it looks like, where'd Pat go?
Well, you know, it's a chore trying to keep Pat in one place. He wandered somewhere. But you know, Nicole, it really is made with pride here. 3,600 workers at this plant, way up from where it was in 2009 when the car industry went through all that trouble. They were down to less than 1,000 employees here on one shift. And I think Pat McGonigal is somewhere with more on this.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan. Yeah, I've moved over to the assembly line. This part of the operation is called trim. This is where they put all the parts in. Now, these workers here, they always knew they were the best, but now they have this, the Motor Trend Truck of the Year trophy, proof, professional recognition that they are the best in the business. And for some of the workers here, it's been a long ride. Stan Matkins is in quality control. You could call him GM's last line of defense.
I'm glad that we are prospering and we are making money.
Stan Matkins and General Motors go back to 1967 when this Wentzville plant was a wheat field and Colorado was just the name of a state. Stan worked at the GM plant in the city.
We had Buick, Oldsmobile, and we had vans out here.
And what's his favorite?
My favorite, anything that was selling, that was my favorite thing.
So you could say Stan and everyone working here at the GM plant in Wentzville lists the Chevrolet Colorado as their new favorite. They say winning fixes everything.
Yes, I actually have a copy of it and I framed it in my garage.
Seriously?
Yes.
It means that much to you?
Yes, it means a lot to me. I've been General Motors since birth.
Jabari Thomas is a team leader on his line, another GM lifer. He's lived through booms and busts. The current vibe in Wentzville?
It's awesome. It's awesome, man.
Mike Bowles from Silex, Missouri is a 30-year GM veteran. Right now, Bowles makes the #1 truck in America. He's also the plant table tennis champ, and he wants to stay on top in both arenas. You have a target on your back?
All the time.
People know you're the champ.
Right now. Tom's trying to take it from me.
Whether it's table tennis or truck of the year, right now this plant is on overdrive. In 48 years on the line, Stan Matkins survived GM going bankrupt and the constant threat of foreign imports. Stan says he kept his head down and never listened to the critics.
They didn't know what they talking about then, they don't know what they talking about now. We are the best and we always will be the best.
here. Good for you, Stan. Now, this part of the process is called trim. It's where all the parts go in. I'm told it can get pretty stressful because, as you see, this line, Nicole, it never stops, and all these parts have to go in there. By the way, for the Chevy Colorado, the 2015 Truck of the Year, 52 parts that go into that are made by Missouri suppliers. So that means good news for this plant and good news for the communities where those suppliers reside all over Missouri. It's just such a big win for the whole state. Nicole?
Absolutely. We love to hear that, and we love to hear the way Stan thinks.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, guys.
Stan the man.
Came back. Welcome back to Wentzville, and make sure you stay with us through every newscast today. If you can't watch them all, DVR, because we're going to show you the process of how the 2015 Truck of the Year, the Chevy Colorado, is built.
Sometimes we use the expression, we're just getting started, but today we mean it. We are really just getting started, because coming up at noon, we will show you how the stamping press works. Very cool. Press C, that's something to see. And then we go inside the body shop on First at 4 and take you through the meticulous painting process at 5. Ryan saw that one. At 6, the local suppliers who benefit from the work being done right here in Wentzville. And then finally at 10, what people call the last line of defense, the audit, to make sure every truck that rolls off the line, van, pickup, whatever, is perfect. And Ryan met with a guy who is an exacting perfectionist. That's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you can follow along online at ksdk.com. Just look for the GM Made with Pride link on the left side of the homepage. And if you're just waking up, here is that award, the 2015 Motor Trend Award. And Pat is making everybody nervous holding this, by the way.
I am, and I should be. These are the golden calipers, and it's like the Stanley Cup for the car industry. It means everything to them.
And of course, you're like, you guys can have it, just don't drop it. And then you're like, oh, of course you had to say that. And every time we hold it, we're like, whoa.
And do you notice, right, every time we make a joke, like they just don't laugh?
Yeah, they don't.
Like,
yeah, they're like,
it's not funny. Don't even joke about that thing.
Let's give the trophy
we'll take
back.
care of it. Yeah, we'll give it back. We'll give it back.
All right, guys, great work out there this morning.
The Motor Trend Truck of the Year, the 2015 Chevy Colorado, is being built right here in our backyard at the General Motors plant in Wentzville. All day long, we're giving you unprecedented access to the place where it's built and to the people who make the truck with pride. Our Ryan Dean is live tonight in Wentzville. Ryan?
well, good evening to you, Mike. Yeah, to get this plant ready to build a Truck of the Year, major upgrades were needed, including a brand new body shop, which we showed you last hour, and major upgrades to the paint shop. We got great access to that paint shop. In fact, one of the union reps told me that some of the employees haven't even been to that area. What you're about to see. It's time to suit up and show you the paint shop. Before you can enter, you have to take an air shower, so you're not bringing the paint shop's two enemies with you, dust and dirt.
So we go to a lot of measures to try to eliminate those contaminants,
including using ostrich feathers. Each truck is kissed by feathers as it goes through the painting process.
The feathers spin as the vehicle goes by, and they draw the dirt off of the vehicle, right, so that we present a fully clean exterior surface.
200 workers staff the paint shop around the clock, leaving its mark on about 650 trucks a day.
All of the team members in paint, know how important it is to get it right.
Getting it right means making sure the paint on the Truck of the Year lasts for years. It gets 4 coats. The first layer is done by submerging the truck in electrically charged paint.
It's able to be pulled electrically into all of the nooks and crannies of the entire body and of the entire box.
This provides maximum corrosion protection. And so do these robots. Watch how quickly the underbody is sealed. This process also helps keep outside noise from coming into the cab.
It helps capture the sound waves so that, again, when you're traveling along, road rumble, it doesn't penetrate into the body. So it keeps the truck extremely quiet.
The truck gets a primer coat, a base coat.
We have around 30 different colors that we'll paint depending on our customer.
Silver and black, the most popular. And then comes the clear coat to give the truck its gloss and shine. The final stage here in the paint shop is this inspection process. You have workers with white gloves feeling for any imperfections. Any small blemishes can be repaired here. If it's more of a major repair, it gets sent back through the paint process.
It takes all of our team members to be engaged with every single vehicle to make sure that they are, what our customer wants.
To these workers, that means the Colorado leaving the shop with a world-class appearance. And the workers say what they really love is seeing the Colorado on the road, knowing, hey, I built that. So they take a lot of pride in making the truck of the year. Okay, so we have much more to come. Our all-day coverage rolls on, and coming up at 6, between the trucks and the vans that are built here, more than 5,000 unique parts that are needed to hit the assembly line at precisely the right moment. Pat McGonigal will show you the science behind the supply chain. Mike, Ann.
All right, Ryan, thanks so much. And with exclusive access to the GM plant in Wentzville, we were able to put together a bunch of great behind-the-scenes stories, and you can see them all on KSTK.com. Look for the quick link called GM Made with Pride. That'll be on the left-hand side of the homepage. All day here on News Channel 5, we've been bringing you live reports from the General Motors plant in Wentzville. A pickup that's built there has brought thousands of jobs back to the plant and has the title of Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Ryan Dean has been at the facility since 4 a.m. seeing how this truck is made with pride. And let's check in with him one last time. Ryan, you've been there so long. You're working all 3 shifts at the plant today. You're even losing your voice a little bit.
A little bit, but you know what? I've been watching these men and women work on this truck, what pride they have building this truck. And you know, we are at the end of the line, and for the truck to get here, that means it's been looked at several times, and then some trucks on each shift are pulled for what's called an audit, where a vigorous inspection takes place. Take a look. It takes up to 3 days to build a Chevy Colorado. It starts with this machine applying 980 tons of pressure to sheets of steel. And it ends with Belinda.
I've been here 30 years, and that I am proud of this product, and I believe in it.
Belinda is one of the auditors. She's at the end of the production line.
Anything that is supposed to be clipped is clipped.
She checks every little detail.
And there's these plugs over here on the side
to make sure the truck, as she puts it, is perfect.
Make sure they're nice and tight.
That means workers turning up the lights to check for things most customers probably wouldn't think of, like making sure the gaps on the exterior of the truck aren't too wide. Even the velocity of the doors closing is measured.
Quality is the #1 thing. We are going to be world leaders in quality.
Up next for the Colorado is the water booth. It's an 8-minute test that simulates the worst rain the pickup could encounter.
As if you were in a hurricane. And that is to find any spot that would have a potential leak. And if there is even 1 drop of water on the inside of the vehicle, it is considered a leak, and it will be addressed and fixed.
Randy is another 30-year employee. One of his jobs is to take the truck for a spin. Outside the plant is a small test course with rumble strips and uneven pavement.
We check for noise, rattles. Big thing is wind noise. We make sure for that there. We just review it as a customer would drive it.
You must not be a fun guy to go car shopping with if your salesman see you coming your way.
I'm not going to like me because I'm going to nitpick.
And during the nitpicking, if an issue is discovered, it is recorded, fixed, and then other trucks that were on the assembly line at the same time are also looked at to make sure it's not a widespread problem.
Our job is to catch it.
For these longtime employees, it's the attention to detail they give the Motor Trend Truck of the Year that gives them a source of pride.
It makes you want to say, yes, I work at General Motors.
And here is a truck that we have been following throughout the day, getting built. When we first saw it around noon, it was basically just a body, no interior, and now it is finished. The 2015 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Now I'm joined by Lori, who works here at the plant. What does this truck mean to you in the workforce?
A sense of security. But less than a year ago, or excuse me, not too long ago, we were down to 1 shift, and now we're running 3 shifts with 3,500 employees. So it's pretty comforting to know.
Nancy, the plant manager here, you said this is the brightest time in GM Wentzville history. Why do you say that?
Yeah, it is really a great time for the plant. You know, we have now 2 product lines, the mid-size pickup trucks and the vans, and they are in huge high demand. We're running around the clock to get as many out to our customers as we can, and we got new models coming out in just a few months, so it's a great time.
All right, well, thank you so much. One last shot of the trophy here. I'll shake your hand as well. And that is it here from the GM plant in Wentzville, a truck made with pride. Back to you.
All right, Ryan, thank you so much. And get some sleep, Ryan, because tomorrow morning you're going to be back on the show. And today in St. Louis, he's going to show you the 2016 truck that's coming next year. Find out why the team is confident it has a chance to win the Motor Trend Award again. Again, that's tomorrow on Today in St. Louis from 4 to 7 a.m.
And we have tons of great behind-the-scenes stories from the Wentzville plant on KSTK.com. Just look for a quick link called GM Made with Pride on the left-hand side of the homepage. Cindy?